Divisibility. 12 is divisible by 2. 12 being divisible by 2 means that if I divide 12 by 2, I should expect a remainder of 0. That will always be true. Also, 12 is divisible by 2 implies these other. So if 12 is divisible by 2, then I can say that 2 is a divisor of 12. 12 is a multiple of 2. 2 is a factor of 12, and 2 divides 12. Here's a divisibility rule. If D divides A and D divides B, then D should divide their sum. Now, when you see a rule or something that has letters, it's hard to grasp unless you imagine it with numbers. So let's go ahead and use this rule, understand this rule better by replacing the variables with some numbers. So we know it's true that 5 divides 10. It's true that 5 divides 20. So I should expect 5 to divide their sum. Notice their sum. We're applying the rule. So 5 should divide 30, and it does. The rule works. Let's see if this rule really works. It does. So we're going to go ahead and use some numbers instead of the variables. It's a little bit more clear with numbers. So in this case, my D is the 6. So it is true that 6 divides 18. It is true that 6 divides 12. So we should expect 6 to divide the difference between 18 and 12. 18 minus 12 is 6. So 6 should divide that number, and we know that's true. So yes, the rule always holds. Please refer to your text for some divisibility rules. Here are other divisibility rules. Here's one of them. They're very straightforward. There's many more in the text. And this is the way you approach it. So the divisibility test for 2. The question is, how do I know a number, any number, is divisible by 2? Well, instead of taking the whole number, like in this case, is 256. Is 256 divisible by 2? Well, instead of considering 256 for divisibility test for 2, all you have to do is look at the units digits. Remember, these are units, tenths, and hundredths. A whole number is divisible by 2 if and only if its units digit, so you focus on the units digit, is divisible by 2. So if this first digit is divisible by 2, the whole number should be divisible by 2. So it cuts down on your work.